Yo, yo. I'm trying to see if this works. Gotta sign into YouTube to chat here. Hold on one second. Why is this not working? Okay. Testing, testing. Testing, testing. Testing, testing. Testing, testing. Wow. Testing, testing. What the heck? Testing, testing. What the heck? Test. Jesus, bro. Yo, yo. Yo, yo. Wow, this is delayed as hell. Yep. Wow. All right. So we are delivering from this 5-minute FVG. Let's label it as a standard fair value gap. So what would we want to happen here? Well, we've got this LRLR, so we've got this low resistance liquidity that ideally we'd want to run. Now, time of day is 11:20. So from a macro perspective, I don't think we really have a macro going on right now. We are in this new week opening gap, just a forewarning, just keep that in mind. And then this purple box is a 15-minute bearish fair value gap. Now we've had a big run already today, so I would just be cautious about longing here. But in theory, this should be what would happen, is that we'd create a inverse fair value gap here, label that as an IFVG. We should close above this on the 2-minute, and we should run, and ideally, we should come back to take out some of these highs, but we're in this new week opening gap. We've already pushed into it one time here. So, I mean, this is kind of a tricky day, to be honest. I'm going to get rid of these new week opening gaps because they are fucking me up. But in theory, we should come and take out these highs over here. But I would just be very careful. I mean, we're basically in lunch now, but in theory, this inverse should take us at minimum to this internal high right here, right? And ideally, to run the LRLR. Now, I told you guys this already, but we have this 15-minute FVG here. That is what is causing... What is this? Why is it... Can we not have that on our chart? What are these macro zones? What is going on, bro? I'm so confused. You're like, what is that? Time zone? New York, okay. All right, so 2 minute, 3 minute, both got inversed, so that was good. Expecting this LR to get hit, but again, we have this 15-minute fair value gap that we rejected from initially, so this should also potentially reject us back down, so you have to be careful. So 15-minute fair value gap. We are still getting rejected from it, as you can see, but if we zoom into the lower time frames, like I said before, we created this low resistance liquidity. We just inversed this 2-minute IFEG from right here. We closed above it. We came down, and we're trying to push up and take all of this out, but this 15-minute fair value gap is stopping us. So what would we want to see here? Well, ideally, we'd want to see a close above the 15-minute gap, and then possibly a test of this order block, and then a push up into these highs right here. This red line is a very significant sell side liquidity that we took out, and we tend to push above these. So like we have another one right here, right above. We have equal highs. So on my charts, if you ever see like these green lines, these are perfect equal highs, and I always use NQ. I never use MNQ. You always use NQ for any data points, whether it be equal highs or equal lows, whatever you're looking at, sell side liquidity, just use NQ. It is the way to go. Don't use the micros. You can use the micros to trade, but for whatever you're trying to find out, oh, I just found a nice set of equal highs here, I think. Did I? 18,761.50, and this is 18,761, so those are not. But these might be. No, they are not. There are some right here, though. Look at this. So these formed in Asia. I don't know what's going on with my macros, but for some reason, sometimes I get these like big Asias that like pool together, which is kind of annoying, but it is what it is. So this high is at 18,952, and this high is at 18,952. So we're going to draw these out because these are equal highs. So when I see all these equal highs, it makes me a lot more confident in building reversal positions, because I know that at some point these are going to be taken out. The algorithms are designed to come back and take out equal highs. And also when we take out significant sell side liquidity, so these come from, let's see here. If you go to the, it's not the weekly, was it the 4-hour chart that these came from? Yeah, so this sell side liquidity right here at 18,189.75 was a 4-hour low. And then this sell side liquidity at 18,397.75. Oh, wait, that's not it. This low was at 18,486, it looks like. Yeah, 18,486. So we already tested that one, but what happens is when we take out a major sell side, we tend to go back and test it again. And it's funny because if you draw, for example, a 50% from this high, where's the low of this? If we draw a 50% level from this high to this low, the 50% level comes almost perfectly up to the sell side, and we always tend to retest these levels. So when you have all this confluence, we have equal highs right here, perfect equal highs, and we have this sell side, and we have 50%, and we have this bearish fair value gap. That is a very significant area, and I think that's a very high likelihood of being tested very soon. I don't give a shit. Sorry, I don't give a crap. I don't give a damn what happens with macroeconomics, politics, the Fed speakers. It doesn't matter. The algorithm drives price to certain areas no matter what. It's just how the algorithm works. It's how the market works. And if you notice, we have all these equal highs. Every single green line I have drawn here is an equal high. So at some point, all these are going to get taken out. We're going to go back to all-time highs. The question is not if, but when. So that's the main concern to me, is when is that going to happen? But the last point that I'm looking at here, so obviously this is a futures contract. So, you know, it refreshes, or the new contract starts running every 4 months. Every 3 months, sorry, 4 times a year. And then the volume starts to pick up and then it dies out. So this is a point where there was no volume on this contract. We were still in the previous contract before NQU. I forget what it is, but then we started picking up volume and we formed it. We started picking up volume, and then the contract started trading as the most active one. But this low is that the first low that we formed within the volume of NQU. So I would ideally want to see that get taken out. Hopefully, I mean, the ideal situation would be us to come down and take this out first, and then go back up and test all of these equal highs. But there's also the potential that we come up, test these equal highs, test to 50%, possibly even come all the way up to here, maybe take these highs out and these equal highs, and then come down. There's so many different scenarios that could happen here that, it's hard to really say for sure. But yeah, so that's what I'm seeing so far. Again, another rejection here. Did we form any equal highs here? No, we didn't. But yeah, we're not at a macro time right now. A perfect move was made. I want to go over actually a really good setup that we had earlier. So let me just check something quick. I want to open my Discord up. Okay, so if we go over to the news, first of all, I want to put my announcements at premium members. Starting to try live streaming 3 times a week. So one thing, I mean, we already covered day trading, but here, let me cover what happened with the news. Sorry, I forgot to do that. So if we go over to the economic calendar just really quick. So today was Thursday. We had, oh, I'm sorry, I got confused. I thought there was 10 o'clock news, but there was 8:30 a.m. news. So in the Discord, I posted that today, Thursday, we have 8:30 red folder news. So to take a trade right after 8:30, this is the red folder news you can see here. So on the chart, this was the setup right here. Okay. So we had this 8:30 news candle, right? And we formed this wick at the top. And I just made a video about this. Was there any equal highs that formed? No. But this was a really good setup. So let me explain what I was seeing, okay? This fair value gap, when you get these fair value gaps, especially on the higher time frames, like 15-minute and above, that come like right before an internal high was made. So like this first fair value gap that forms right before an internal high, these also act as a magnet for price, okay? So right here, when we had this 8:30 news, okay, we came up, this was 9:30. We came down and we traded back into this bullish fair value gap, okay? And look how we touched into it. I'm going to make this just a standard fair value gap so you can see it in gray. It'll be easier, trust me. You come down, we took out this internal sell side / entered a fair value gap, and then we had a very bullish reaction right here. And we formed a singular IFEG, as you can see right there. So we came up, and on one singular candle, we closed above the singular IFEG, or the singular FEG, turning it into an IFEG, after coming down and trading into this fair value gap. So to me, that was a super bullish sign, and I fully expected us to come back up, and this is where I would probably take profits, is right here. I mean, definitely take profits right there. And then I would probably take a partial here at the top of this internal high, and potentially, you know, just in case my bias was wrong, I would maybe take a partial off at the 50% of this wick. But that was the trade today for sure. It matched up. It lined up perfectly with the macro time too, which is crazy. Time is actually amazing. If you have a bullish fair value gap like this, you have a very obvious internal sell side draw, buy side draw, and it's forming within a macro. First of all, I have to get rid of this. I don't use the, what the hell? I don't use the 250 macro, and I don't use the 550 macro. I don't use the 750 macro or the 820 macro or the 920. That's not really even a macro. If I add that, I don't know why it does this. Oh, it's just, I guess it's showing macros that haven't happened yet. Oh, that's actually pretty smart. Can I change the can I change the coloring of this? Hold on. Can I undo that? The 1310 macro. If I make it green, does that change the color of the box? It does. Wow. Okay. Well, then let's make them yellow. Yellow. I'm just going to make them all yellow because it's one of the few colors that I don't really use on my charts. Okay, so that was that. Again, this is the A+ setup. Bullish fair value gap. We traded back down into it. Obvious internal buy side liquidity. Very bullish reaction right at a macro time. Literally, as the macro begins, we have this bullish fair value gap. Perfect setup. So you would long, sorry, let's take the magnet tool off here. You would long right there. Stop ideally would be a close below the IFEG, but I would probably put my stop right down here. First take profit would be at this internal wick. So that's already a 1.6 trade. And then secondary target would be the internal high right there. But where I would really probably leave a runner here, again, is to this 15-minute fair value gap. I told you guys already, but when you have that first fair value gap that forms on a higher time frame after like this internal buy side is formed, that typically acts as a magnet for price. So if you ever see like an internal high like this that led to a drive down in price, this fair value gap typically is a magnet. So I would have probably, I didn't take this trade. I wasn't at the computer. I had some stuff to do in Thailand here. I was at the beach doing a boating tour. So I couldn't get back at the computer on time, but that would have been it. I would have taken a profit here, and I would have left a runner up to this high. Or at least to the low of the 15-minute gap. So like right there, I would have taken some profits. Now, I mean, I'm pretty much done. This macro is the 1150 to 1210. What does this do if I click news? If I click news, what does that do? Doesn't do anything. I wanted to see something quick. Okay, so I don't have the 30-second or the 15-second chart. I don't really like to trade it, but that could have been a really good maneuver there. As you can see, we came back into the IFEG, and we came back into this bullish 15 and had a very bullish reaction. So this could easily be the area where we long, but it's just not worth it to me. It's not a good trade. God damn, okay. So, I mean, it is a macro, so if you want, you can try and take this, but I just wouldn't suggest it. It's not high probability anymore. This was the high probability move. It happened already. It was a 30-second, like I said, or a 15. It was a 30 or 15-second. I don't have that on my charts, but it probably was just based on these two candles. And that means we're probably going to internal high, at least this internal high. But again, I've said it so many times, this is a low probability trade, so I wouldn't really take this right now. It's lunchtime. There were some great trades that happened already, so there's just no point to me. So I wouldn't really take this right now. It's lunchtime. There were some great trades that happened already, so there's just no point to me.
You need the best footage for your video.
So I wouldn't really take. Testing, 1, 2, 3. Testing, testing, 1, 2, 3. Testing, 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 testing. Testing, testing, 1, 2, 3. Test. Semiconductors are doing well. This is one that we added in the Discord. How is everything else doing today? Wow, Nvidia's up 3%. That's nice. Tesla's up decently. Not great. This is one I've been selling puts on and collecting some nice income, some nice premiums on. AVGO is one that we added. Still like this at this area. I would still add more, honestly, if I could. But yeah, the biggest ad that we've had was SOXL. I added this at 24.90, I think I added it at. But Shopify was a real winner for me. I added this at 53. This blue box I've had drawn forever. I think I talked about this in some of the lives that I've done. But where did that level come from? It was a fair value gap on the daily or the weekly. I think it was on the daily. Oh, it was a gap on the daily. That's what it was. And look where we filled it to. We literally filled it perfectly to the bottom, and then we just started rocketing. Now we have this gap to fill at 75. We have this gap to fill at 89. My take profits are going to be at 91.57 and 98.85. That is where I'm holding it to, personally. But yeah. That is that. Yeah, the only issue that I despise about YouTube live streams is the delay. Like, the delay is crazy.
How to remove delay in Streamlabs OBS in 2023. Streaming delays are some of the most annoying things that streamers experience. By removing them, you will be able to have more fun doing what you love. Here's how to do it. So the first thing that you want to do is you want to head on to settings, And after that, we're going to go to advanced. Here in the advanced, you want to scroll down until you see stream delay. Here, you want to turn it on, so we're going to enable it. And for the duration, we're going to change it to 0. Preserve cutoff point, as you see here, it increases delay, so we are going to disable that one. And scroll down. Automatically reconnect. Yes, you want to enable it, but we're going to change the value to 0. And for the network, you want to go down to a low latency mode. You want to enable this one, and then we're going to click done in order for everything to take effect. Now the last thing that you want to do is you want to make sure that you are not using Wi-Fi. Instead of that, I want you to use a cable from your router to your computer. And yeah, that's about it. Now you can enjoy streaming without having to experience so much delay. Moreover, I highly encourage you to consider upgrading to Streamlabs Ultra, which will significantly enhance your streaming quality and overall experience. Simply click the link found in the description box and the comment section below.
Damn. Wow, look at that. There was that 15-minute, that 2-minute reaction. I mean, that 30-second reaction. We don't have it on our charts, but I believe it was. We came up, we took all these internal highs and this internal buy side right here. Still leaving this, but yeah, I mean, if we get the 15-minute close above, then I think for sure we're going to go higher. Probably, like I said, what is going on here? Yeah, probably at minimum come up to this internal high right here. Is it within a fair value gap? Yes, it is. So this internal high is really important. And then apart from that, I don't really see much else here. But yeah, that's that. Got that 15-minute high, the perfect equal highs there. That 50% retracement of the leg, the secondary sell side, and then these equal highs right here. There are so many different areas that I think we're going to target in the coming days. Oh my god, and look at this. Are these double equal? Oh no, they're not even equal. They're not equal highs here, but they are equal highs right here. So let's magnetize these. Magnetize, bro. Yeah, so that's that. Those are equal highs that we're looking to target eventually. So we're going to extend these out in time so that we can see them. Bro, there were so many equal highs, like so many. I'm telling you right now, if you it's very hard not to be bullish. I mean, look at this. We have so many sets of equal highs just like begging to be taken out. Look at this. There's literally 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. 9 sets of equal highs on high time frames. Like, these are going to get hit eventually, and they're probably going to get hit in the coming days. Like, there's almost no doubt in my mind that at least we take out these equal highs, this 50% retracement, these equal highs. Like, what? There's no way we don't. I'm telling you guys right now, there's no way that we don't. So that's that. I think there were 0 live streamers, 0 people in this stream the whole time, but it is what it is. Gotta start somewhere, right? Gotta start somewhere. Got to start somewhere. It's 11 o'clock for me here. So I think it is time to go to bed. All right, guys, I'm going to dip out.